All right, so it seems like you're thinking about bringing on a virtual assistant.
Always a smart move, right?
Absolutely, especially for someone looking to, level up their business.
For sure.
And from the looks of it, you're specifically interested in hiring from India?
Yeah.
You've got a whole stack of articles, company profiles.
That's impressive.
So you've clearly done some digging.
Definitely.
What's caught your eye so far?
Well, I mean, the thing that really jumps out is just how much India dominates. Like the VA scene.
Right.
It's really kind of amazing. And it makes sense when you start, connecting the dots.
Yeah.
Companies like Vidushi Infotech and Invadus, they're like shouting from the rooftops about the cost advantages.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not just, marketing hype.
Right.
We're talking serious savings compared to hiring someone, locally.
Definitely. I mean, Vidushi mentions a 40% cost reduction.
It's massive.
That's huge for any business, really, but especially like entrepreneurs and small businesses.
Oh, absolutely. Trying to,
stretch every dollar.
Yeah, exactly. Make the most of every penny. And actually, Forbes Advisor, they highlight this whole growing trend of small businesses, increasingly relying on VAs.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just about cutting costs, though, right?
Right.
It's about accessing this global talent pool. And we're talking a talent pool that's like overflowing with tech skills.
Right. So we're seeing that India's got this cost advantage, but then on top of that, their reputation for having a skilled tech workforce is...
Yeah, it's off the charts.
It's incredible. And honestly, English fluency is, it's crucial in the world of remote work.
Oh, it's essential, isn't it?
You absolutely need someone who can understand and communicate clearly, and India just seems to tick all those boxes.
They really do. And, it's not just theoretical.
Yeah.
Look at Main Data Group, Sopra IT, both U.S.-based companies,
right.
And they're singing the praises of their experiences with Indian VAs.
That's true. I mean, Craig Main from Main Data Group was just blown away by how Vidushi, they found him a VA with skills that his in-house engineers just didn't have.
Wow.
And he said that flexibility, being able to scale his team up or down as needed,
right,
was a game changer for him.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And remember Gerard Cartwright from Sopra IT.
Yeah, how could I forget?
His Invadus team, they managed to boost his e-commerce traffic by over 50%.
That's amazing.
It's insane. And these aren't, just flukes. This is what happens when you combine a really skilled workforce with a cost-effective model.
It's like a whole new world of possibilities,
It really is.
But I am curious about the different ways to actually hire a VA from India.
Yeah, good question.
We've got these direct-to-client companies like Vidushi and Invadus.
Right.
But then, Forbes Advisor also mentioned platforms like Time, etc.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? What's the difference?
It's kind of like choosing between a bespoke tailor and like a department store.
Okay.
Both have their perks. It just depends on what you're looking for.
Ooh, I like that analogy. Okay, so walk me through it.
Okay, so with direct hire companies, you're basically partnering with them to find the perfect VA for your specific needs.
Okay.
They're kind of like your outsourcing matchmakers.
Okay, interesting.
You work closely with them, you define exactly what you're looking for, and they handle everything from finding the candidates to sorting out payroll and HR.
Wow.
It's a more, I guess, hands-on approach.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of control over the process, which is nice.
So it's more about building that long-term relationship, not just with the VA, but with the company itself.
Yeah, exactly. You're not just, grabbing the first available freelancer.
Right.
You're investing in a partnership.
Makes sense.
And that's something that companies like Vidushi really emphasize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They heavily screen their VAs. And they really focus on building these, long-term relationships.
Yeah.
It's almost like they become an extension of your, in-house team.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense for someone who, really values that personal touch.
Yeah.
And that control.
For sure.
Now, what about these platforms?
Okay. So platforms that, Time, etc., Fancy Hands, these are more marketplaces for VAs.
Okay.
It's like the gig economy approach to outsourcing.
Right. Gotcha.
So you basically browse through profiles.
Okay.
You check out their skills, their experience, and then you hire them for, specific projects or tasks.
Makes sense.
It's quick. It's convenient.
Yeah.
And honestly, you can often find someone for pretty much anything you need, which is really cool.
Sounds like the perfect solution if you need someone, quickly for a short-term project.
Exactly. However, you might not get that same level of, personalized attention
Right.
or long-term commitment
Yeah.
that you would with a direct hire company.
Right. And I imagine the pricing structures are probably pretty different too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Direct hire companies, they usually give you like custom quotes
Okay.
based on your specific needs.
Right.
It's tailored to you.
Okay.
Platforms, on the other hand, they tend to have these like tiered pricing plans
Gotcha.
based on, hours or tasks.
Okay.
So for instance, time, etc., might offer like a 10-hour package for, say, $380,
Okay.
which sounds good, but then those hours can disappear pretty quickly if you've got a bigger project,
Oh, for sure.
So that's something to keep in mind.
So it really comes down to, finding that model that really fits your needs.
Yeah.
Your budget.
Exactly.
It's like choosing between a tailored suit and then like a ready-to-wear one.
Right. Good analogy.
But beyond just like the how-to of actually hiring a VA, what other benefits are we talking about here?
Right.
Forbes advisor mentioned 24/7 availability.
Yeah.
That's got to be a game changer.
Oh, it's huge. It's like having, the most dedicated employee imaginable
Okay.
working around the clock. Because, the time difference between, India and the U.S., it means that your VA can literally be like making progress while you're asleep.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine waking up to like a finished presentation
Oh, yeah.
or a perfectly organized inbox.
Okay, I'm sold.
Right.
I'm sold. No more late nights trying to like catch up on emails.
Exactly. That's the dream.
But it's not just about the extra hours, right?
No, not at all.
We were talking about India's skilled workforce.
Right.
But like Vidushi and Invadis both raved about having access to like specialized talent pools.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like having, a direct line to experts in like every field imaginable.
Right.
You need like a coder who specializes in some like niche programming language.
Right.
No problem.
Wow.
You're looking for someone who can like analyze complex data sets.
Yeah.
India's got you covered. Wow. It's about accessing skills that might be really difficult or just like crazy expensive to find locally.
So you're not just getting like an extra pair of hands, you're getting a whole
Exactly.
vast team of specialists at your disposal.
Yeah, it's like having a whole
That's incredible for businesses.
arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
but-
businesses looking to like scale quickly or tackle projects that require, specific expertise.
Right, exactly.
But let's address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Communication.
Yeah.
I mean, working remotely is great, but things can get lost in translation,
Oh, for sure.
especially across different cultures.
Yeah, you're absolutely right to raise that.
Yeah.
While, English fluency is generally very high among Indian VAs,
Right.
there can be, some nuances in communication style or just like cultural differences that might require a bit of adjustment.
Yeah.
The key is to just like, set those clear expectations from the get-go.
Right. So how do you actually do that?
Okay, well,
What are like some practical tips for like bridging those cultural gaps and then, ensuring smooth communication?
sure. Yeah, I think it all starts with just open and honest communication from
Yeah.
like day one.
Right.
Don't be afraid to over-communicate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like clearly outline your expectations,
Mm-hmm.
provide detailed briefs for the tasks
Right.
and, establish regular check-ins just to make sure everyone's,
On the same page.
yeah, exactly, on the same page.
Yeah.
Think of it like,
Yeah.
building a bridge.
Okay.
You need strong foundations on both sides.
Makes sense. And what about those like cultural differences?
Yeah.
I imagine those can impact like working styles, expectations.
Oh, absolutely. For example, like Indian work culture, they often place a strong emphasis on, hierarchy,
Okay.
respect for authority, which
Yeah.
might be a little bit different from, what you're used to.
Right.
So it's like, crucial to be mindful of those differences.
Right.
And just approach communication, with sensitivity and understanding.
Yeah.
Like in Vedas, for instance,
Yeah.
they really stress the importance of finding a VA who's like a good cultural fit for your team.
Yeah. That makes sense.
They even recommend having like a quick, video chat as part of the interview process.
Interesting.
Not just to assess skills,
Right.
but also to get a sense of like their personality,
Yeah.
their communication style.
It's like dating. You
Really?
want to make sure there's good chemistry before you commit.
Yeah.
But speaking of commitment, data security has to be like a top concern when working with anyone remotely,
Oh, absolutely.
especially when you're dealing with, sensitive information.
Yeah. For sure. You need to be sure that you're working with a company
Right.
or an individual
Right.
who really prioritizes data security.
Yeah.
Look for things like, robust infrastructure,
Yeah.
clear data protection policies, willingness to sign NDAs. It's not just about protecting your business. It's about like building trust.
For sure. And it sounds like both Vidushi and Invadus have like measures in place.
Yeah, they do.
Which is reassuring. They seem to get that, data security is like non-negotiable in today's world.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just a nice to have, it's a must have.
Okay, so we've like really covered a lot of ground here.
We really have.
We talked about why India's become, such a hub for VAs.
Yeah.
We explored like the ins and outs of direct hire versus, those platforms.
Right.
And we even like dived into the nitty gritty of like communication and data security.
All the important stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But let's get down to like brass tacks.
Okay.
If you're seriously considering, taking the plunge,
Yeah.
what are like the key takeaways you should be walking away with?
Well, I think first and foremost, clarity is like king. Before you even like start browsing profiles or, contacting companies,
Right.
get crystal clear on what you actually need from a VA.
It's kind of like, going to the grocery store on an empty stomach. You'll just end up with a cart full of things you don't even need.
100%. I love that analogy. So yeah, think about those specific tasks that you want to outsource, like your budget,
Right.
and how much control you actually want over the process.
Yeah, that makes sense. Once you kind of got that figured out,
Yeah.
it's time to do your homework.
Exactly. Whether you're, leaning towards direct hire or, a platform thorough research, it's non-negotiable.
Yeah, it's like buying a car.
Right.
You wouldn't just like hand over your money without, kicking the tires first.
Exactly.
So look for those companies or, individual VAs that have like proven track records.
Yeah.
Read those testimonials.
Yes.
Scrutinize their experience.
Uh-huh.
And don't hesitate to like ask for those references.
Absolutely. Yeah. Be thorough.
And Invadus had that great point about those interviews.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even like a quick video call can tell you a lot.
It can tell you a ton.
Yeah.
It's a chance to kind of, get a feel for their communication style,
Yeah.
their personality, and just like, whether they would even like mesh well with your team.
Yeah, it's all about finding that right fit.
It really is.
Someone who not only has the skills, but like
Yeah.
also aligns with, your work style and your values.
100%.
Yeah.
And then once you've actually found them,
Right.
that clear communication, it's like paramount.
Yeah, it's like laying the groundwork for like a successful partnership.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Yep. Clearly define that scope of work.
Yeah.
Establish those regular communication channels.
Right.
And just set those expectations from like day one.
Because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
100%. It's so much easier to like address potential issues up front
Right.
than to deal with those, headaches down the line.
Yeah. Totally. This whole like deep dive has been so eye-opening.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing how accessible this kind of support has become.
It's true.
Especially for like entrepreneurs and small businesses.
Oh, for sure. It's like having a secret weapon,
Totally.
giving you the power to like, compete on a whole new level.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just about like, administrative tasks anymore.
No, not at all.
It's about like those strategic partnerships.
Yeah.
Those specialized skills.
Right.
Tapping into that global talent pool.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
I love that.
Right.
Working smarter, not harder.
And achieving more than you ever thought possible.
Exactly. So as you kind of embark on this, exciting journey.
Yeah.
Here's like a final thought to ponder.
Okay, I like it. Hit me.
What are your non-negotiables when it comes to like working with a VA?
That's a good question.
Is it, cultural alignment? Is it that specific technical expertise?
Right.
Or maybe, even a particular communication style. Defining those like must-haves.
Yeah.
It'll really help you, navigate all those options.
It will.
And then ultimately find the perfect partner for your, for your success.
For sure.
Because at the end of the day, it's not just about, finding a VA.
Right.
It's about finding like the right VA.
Exactly.
Someone who can help you like really take your business to the next level.
100%.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe you'll be sharing your own success story, on the deep dive soon.
I love it. That's a wrap on today's deep dive. We hope you found this like exploration of virtual assistants insightful.
Yeah.
And we wish you the best of luck in, finding your perfect match.
Good luck.
Until next time.